The date was August 27th, 2025, and I started my first class at Southern Utah University. 10 classes, 40 discussion boards, 26 songs, and 334 days later, here we are. And welcome to my capstone. My name is Langston Gant, and the title of my capstone is Langston's Legendary Legato. Now, this project really is about me diving into something that I've never dove into before. This is a fully orchestral project, horns, woodwinds, strings, percussion, the whole gambit. And little did I know how much work it was going to be. And really, I chose this project because I felt like it was a wonderful compilation of everything that I've learned in the 3MT program at SUU. And I really felt like this was something that when I look back on my time here, I'm going to be very proud of all the work that I've done. Now, the scope of my project originally was going to be 35 to 40 minutes of pure, beautifully laid out orchestral music. I realized that I was so naive going into this. So we whittled it down to about 8 to 10 minutes of orchestral music that I could do in one semester. And I'm so glad we did, because it turned out to be so much harder than I thought. The quantizing for orchestral music was a very large challenge. I spent hours and hours trying to get everything lined up and trying to count all these subdivisions. Another element of this project that was really difficult for me to attain was realism. Little did I know how much expression, modulation, and even volume automation, mic placement, and articulation working all together made these instruments sound like they were actually played by somebody. And it took a long time to try to get those elements all working together. Lastly, my third biggest problem with this project was originality. It was so difficult to try to think of something that's never been done, especially when I don't even know the basics. With that being said, I did have a lot of temp music in place, and that was really helpful for me to have a nice jumping off point with everything that I was able to do. Okay, all right, that's enough yapping. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and actually listen to some of the music. Welcome to my lair. This is where I've been working for the past year, and it's a great space, this dusty old basement, and I couldn't ask for anything better. Who am I kidding? I take a pair of HS8s, a mini Moog, some sound treatment, and an Allen Heath SQ7 in a heartbeat. But I digress. What I want to show you guys here is a little excerpt from every one of my songs in the EP, just 5 songs. So let's get started with track 1. All right, before it gets to the part 2. So what I like about this portion is these little hits here. That is exactly how I wanted it. I wanted some parts to be a little dragged and some parts to be a little pushed. If you just commit everything to audio, put it in slip mode, and you can put it exactly where you want it. It took me a long time to figure out, maybe a little bit too long, but that's something I really enjoyed about this first song here. Added a little synth bass there. Lots of percussion, make it as big as I can. I actually used this song for my main title assignment in one of the classes I had with Professor Riola. One thing he said is he liked the song, but make sure that it's much bigger at the end. So I added so much more percussion, so much more hits, and a lot more automation towards the end to make it something that was usable. And I think it turned out really nicely. That synth bass once again. Nice. So when it comes to that synth bass, I found that even though that's not part of the orchestral, the suite, if you will, it's not an instrument you would typically use. What's great about it is that really adds a ton that gives that low end. It's almost like it's a fake like contrabass. When you're adding some low end, it doesn't necessarily have to be part of the actual instrumentation of what's really being played there, but it gives the same effect. So that was a great thing I learned. Nice, really minimal use of cymbal swells just to give that kind of suspense feeling. A little bit more here. Well, an impossible woodwind run. Actually, it's coming up right here. I don't even know what that is, but I just love it. Another thing that you'll see throughout all these songs that I learned is if I want something to feel like there's some give and take, I am bringing the BPM down by like 10 for like 2 seconds and then slowly automating it back up. See these different tempos right here? 70, 107, 119, 105. A lot of the changes I made in this were recommendations based off of the peer mentor part of the Capstone in section 1. That was invaluable. That was so great. And I felt like it really helped to give more depth. And I really appreciated that time in the first part of the Capstone as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little snippet into the nuts and bolts of what I've been working on for my Capstone. And a big shout out to all of my professors. You guys have been amazing to work with, to learn from. And as of now, I am so glad that I can say I am a graduate of Southern Utah University. Thank you very much. Until next time.